I shared this last month, but I can do it again. I called out to something and I think I was answered, but I'm not sure by what. Be me, 14 years old or so. Obsessed with paranormal shit since I was a small child. Be in Scouts. We're gonna be camping in Gettysburg, IE, which is probably the most haunted place in the US. Oh fuck yes, time to bullshit with some people. Fire up the early internet and navigate across a black background angel fire rotating GIF tier shit. Come across a summoning guide for shamans or whatever, i.e. spirit guide trash for hippies. Haha, this is fucking rich. Print out how to summon a spirit of the night, or something close to that. Been a long while. Because I'm an edgy teen and this will be hilarious. Day of trip. Scoutmaster happily announces that there's a surprise. 2 paranormal investigators will be visiting all the scouting campsites this weekend. We sit down at twilight and they show us pictures of the TNT area in West Virginia. Mothman, one of my favorites. Interest immediately peaked. Giant lily pads, awkward looking heron birds, purple polluted water, etc. They close the photo book and say they'll be taking photos of spirit orbs today after it gets proper dark. Ask Scoutmaster if I could take the guys out to an old house we saw that surprisingly wasn't locked. Say fine, and they'll be back in an hour. We head down there and it is furnished, but free of bumps. See an old doll in the corner. Oh, this is gonna be good. Place it at the center of the circle. Tell everyone to sit down and begin seance. Lighting candles, calling out to the spirit, cut a finger for blood, etc. Take it super seriously, even though I'm laughing inside at how spooked everyone else is getting. Draws to a conclusion. Cold gust of wind rips through the house, causing a few of the candles to go out, save 2, which we established was a yes. Everyone screams and says they saw a white mask floating over my head before disappearing. Everybody books it out of the house, even the older scouts. Stride out of the house smug because I'm hot shit, and my ruse is the ruse of the century. Get the feeling that something isn't quite right. Family has a history of ghost sightings on my dad's side when he was a boy. Wait, maybe it actually worked. Fuck. Get a feeling I'm being watched. Get back to camp. Everyone seems a little shaken, but most are just talking it off. Smaller scout cries, quite literally, about it to the scoutmaster. He gives me a stern lecture, and I get pulled aside by my dad, who looks furious and tells me to cut that shit out. The 2 paranormal investigators waddle up with the cameras and say it's time to go. Feeling of being watched dissipates. We start walking the old battleground, as the paranormal investigators tell us different ghost stories for the area while snapping photos. Guide tells us history. We get to a rock, where there are initials carved into it. Clean, like with a chisel. Guide that was with us tells us a story that goes something like a woman who saw her husband killed on the battlefield, returned from the dead, and carved his initials into the stone, with a burning hand. And all who trace the letters are doomed to misfortune. Naturally, Crybaby Scout traces it. We go on our way. More stories, more photos. Older Scout falls down and screams. His ankle is twisted, clearly broken from a rabbit hole. Crybaby Scout starts losing his mind and crying. Feeling of something watching just behind my shoulder returns. He blabs about exactly what I did in the house, embellishing parts as children are wont to do. All adults are super pissed at me because Piss Baby can literally not hold his piss as evidenced by his stained jeans. We all head back to camp and everyone ignores me as they mull about before taps. Whatever, solitaire I guess. Older Scout driven to a hospital as other scouts powwow and how I'm a Satanist or something. Hear weird screaming from the deep woods. Chill runs down my spine. Dad says it's just a fox. They make weird noises. Okay, sure. Night goes on. Camp light seems to be fading in and out. All kerosene lamps die at near the same time. Scoutmaster laughs and says he guesses it's lights out. We go in our tents, try to sleep. Constantly sounds like someone is heavily singing just outside my tent. Ignore it. Clearly people messing with me, I think. Wake up late to the sound of Piss Baby Scout screaming saying, "She's gonna get me!" Anger towards me reignited. Just like our campfire. What? Scoutmaster himself put that out after drown, stir, drown, etc. Why is it still smoldering? Dirty cloth doll next to log near fireplace. Same as the one from the house. Scouts visibly nervous. Can see something in the tree line. Shine light. Fox sitting and watching. Darts off when light hits it. Neat.jpg. Next day is filled with a lot of scouts injuring themselves, like the scoutmaster cutting his hand, several scouts being burned, etc. Usual stuff, just more of it. Gloomy day with lots of clouds. Looks like rain. Paranormal investigators return with the photos. Every single one I'm in has a large white oval orb just above my right side or behind me. Every single one. That's neat, but I'm getting a bit spooked. Scout cool guy. Everyone has one of these tryhards, comes over to the table and slaps the doll from the night before on the table, asking who put it in his tent. No one did. Obviously a low-tier prank attempt. Scouts start telling investigators what I did. Oh boy, here we go. They get serious and start asking me questions. Are confused when I tell them about the seance in the house. Are you chumps serious? Say I should see an exorcist or something. Scoutmaster yells at us to pack it up since it looks like it's gonna be a massive rainstorm, and he doesn't want to deal with that shit in the morning. We all pack it up and head home. Dad gives me a stern lecture in the car all the way back. Tells me his own stories and how his ghost was friendly and to knock off this edgy shit. Sure, whatever, old man. We arrive home as storm hits. Hard. Lights go out. Creaking starts in the house, from all over, scratching from inside the walls. Family whats, and Mom starts getting spooked. Little sister and I remain skeptical and insist it's just more field mice. Again. Hear another fox call. Look out window. Fox is sitting in the middle of the yard. Looks up to the window the family is peeking from, then trots back into the tree line. Unpack my bags. Dirty doll is there, under some clothes. Lol, what? 4 out of 10 revenge prank guys, apply yourselves. Night is filled with the sound of raging storms and fox calls. Have dream of a large figure in a black, twisting cloak floating over my bed. White face mask like porcelain, and it reaches out with long branch-like fingers and points at me before I snap awake in a sweat. Go downstairs and get myself breakfast. Another gloomy day. Go to turn on light. Bulb explodes. Turn on other lights. None work. Probably came back on in the night and I blew a fuse. Go to basement and flip open box. Feels like something's watching me. No fuse blown or anything out of order. Head back upstairs. Feeling of something just behind me does not go until Mom appears. Rest of the day is normal, as does life. Years pass, with little things here and there. Start getting night terrors as I get into my late high school and early college years. Wake up with scratch marks on my body all the time. Whatever, probably just an itch. One day I wake up and there's a mass of blood around my crotch. Slept on belly. Panic and wash sheets without telling anyone. Going downstairs and look out window. Fox is there again, watching. Not uncommon anymore. I'd taken to calling him Robin over the years. Shiver runs up spine though. He's always a bit eerie. Putting sheets in wash, look in bin to see if anything else needs to go. Pulling other things out. Doll is in the bin. Feeling of not being alone is back and my hair's on end. Didn't we throw this out after the trip? After enough weird dreams and scratchy walls at night, I'm tired of it and the doll is back. Maybe I did call something. Take doll out to the backyard in the woods and set it on a cut tree stump that night. Prop up umbrella over it. Apologize for disturbing the spirits. Walk backwards, keeping my eye on it for a short time. Fox shifts through the tree line, sits and watches me. Think this thing maybe just has rabies and I'm gonna get bit. Just sits there as I leave. Take my sister out to the forest after a few days to do target shooting with my new bow and explore. We come across the stump and the doll is gone. The umbrella's still there. Sharing stories about my childhood with Dad one day. Laughs and says if I remember waking him up all the time about the shadow lady. Don't remember ever telling him anything like that. Light over kitchen table flickers briefly. I laugh nervously and look back to the yard scanning the tree line, but nothing is there. Still get bad dreams at times, but have lived a normal life since. X has a terrible character limit for posts, and I didn't account for that, so sorry. That's my experience though. I'm not too sure what it is, or may have been, or if that bogus ritual on the early net is legit, or if the fox ties to it at all, but there you have it. Don't fuck with spirits and things you don't understand, even if you think it's all just bullshit. Be 14-year-old awkward kid with semi-popular friends. A friend of mine, Bob, has 20-year-old Chad bro with Chad friends. One day he tells me there's a fully abandoned floor in a decent private building that he lives that nobody can access for some reason. He's known for telling bullshit stories, and I don't believe him. Plus, there's no way that kind of thing's allowed in a good neighborhood. One day I'm picking him up at his place to go to school, and he tells me to come into his apartment, which is weird. I've never been to his house before because his parents didn't really like me or my friends. I get inside the apartment, and with another friend, he tells us to listen. Can't hear shit, and I think they're pranking us. His older brother tries to convince me, but I call bullshit again. He looks legit scared though, and he's known for being a respected guy in the hood. Plus, I've never talked to him before, and I would have been an easy target for him if I wasn't friends with his brother. Fast forward to summer break, me and another guy go to Bob's place to pick him up and hang out. He tells us to come in again, which again is weird. In his house, there's his brother with another older guy. They want to go upstairs and check out the abandoned floor for shits and giggles. Big bro acts all tough, says he's gonna fuck up whoever might be up there. You have nothing to do anyway, so we go with him. The abandoned floor was basically locked down from the rest of the building. The stairs didn't go up there for some reason, and the elevator stopped at the floor below. The only way to get there was by blocking the elevator between two floors and climbing the fire escape thing on the inside. I've been to other buildings in the same neighborhood, and the stairs didn't go all the way up, but it looked like the last floor wasn't even there unless you noticed it from the outside. We go in with a fence cutter and break the lock of the fire escape thing door. The whole floor is beyond thrashed. Every apartment open and filled with garbage, old furniture, and various trash. And bear in mind that each floor had 6 or 7 apartments with multiple bathrooms. No lights, windows blocked with wood planks and garbage. There's no physical way to explain how they moved all that shit up there with no stairs or elevator. Smells like shit too. We go inside one of the apartments. It's really dark inside, and we use lighters just to avoid stomping on something dangerous. The whole apartment's filled with garbage. Some rooms are completely inaccessible. No lights and windows, etc. Suddenly, we hear somebody screaming. Big dirty hobo emerges from the garbage, has a knife, and keeps screaming. We panic and haul the fuck out and get back to the elevator. Everyone is scared shitless. Later, I ask why nobody ever called the police or the landlord if they knew about something fucky living up there. They don't want to answer, but now that I think about it, I think Bob's brother was a small-time drug dealer and he was looking for a place to hide stuff. A week later, Bob tells me the noises have stopped, but I have no idea how they managed to live there knowing what was up there. We eventually tell other people about the hobo, and it becomes a sort of legend that nobody believes. Fast forward 2 years later, nobody ever saw or heard of the hobo. Plus the area was fairly nice, so if a hobo showed up somewhere, the police would have kicked him out promptly. Me and other friends are waiting for Bob for a local soccer tournament. He shows up 20 minutes late, awkwardly covering his bleeding face. He tells us he was walking alone in a parking lot when the hobo showed up out of nowhere and bit him on the face. He has no time to react, and the hobo basically vanishes without him realizing. No witnesses. He's still bleeding, like an idiot. 20 minutes later, and it actually looks like a human bite. His brother was waiting with us and starts screaming at him. He then punches him for being stupid. Whole place laughs until Bob starts crying. They go to the hospital, and thankfully Bob didn't catch any disease. 8 years later, and still no sign of the hobo, as far as I know. Watch my back ever since. Be younger me, working in Guantanamo, not the fucking camps. In patrol zone, cop mode activate.exe. Have to do beach checks. Call comes in from nearby post for a head break. Partner and I drive to the post, and my partner swaps with one of the guys so I can drive him to the shitter. Go to nearby beach post, bro goes to shit. I start checking the beach, walking along, having a cig because I'm a fucking shitbag. Out of the corner of my eye I see something. Turn and look, and I see something white disappear behind some rocks. I think it's some kids or some people trying to get in some beach sexy time. Pretty common occurrence. I walk over to investigate, and I fucking shit you not, my radio goes static. This has never happened before on this beach. I've patrolled here a fucking million times. Head over, shine flashlight behind rocks, and I see a woman in a white dress. Ma'am, you have to leave this beach, it's closed. She fucking disappears. Panic mode engaged.gif. I run to my unit, call dispatch on my now functioning radio, and tell them beach check complete. Post bro comes back from his shit. I take him to his post and get my partner. Pull over to favorite cig spot in the zone and smoke 3 or 4 cigs. Partner asks what's wrong. Nothing I say, as I toss him the keys. He drive for a bit. I didn't sleep well. In before disinfo agent. I have a few more if you guys are interested. After this shit went down, I casually asked a co-worker about ghost stories. Every base has them. There's allegedly a tree of death in Japan. He tells me there was a woman who killed herself near the beach by nosediving off the cliff. Would you say that, JPEG? I let that shit go for a while, trying to rationalize it. Then one night, while on shift, I was assigned to a zone with a graveyard. Yes, there's a fucking graveyard in Guantanamo. Before you conspiracists begin to get hard, it's old as fuck and hasn't been used in years. The headstones are almost unreadable. Decide fuck it, I'll drive past the graveyard. No partner this time. Drive around the area a few times, feeling the creeps. Get out of the unit and call in for a foot patrol. Walk around the graveyard for a few minutes and have a few cigs. looking for a memorial grave for the woman, trying to confirm the suicide. I didn't find it. I decided to go back to my unit. I swear to God, I hear someone say, "Away." All my creeps stop, fuck this shit. I haul ass out of there and drive in the well-lit areas the whole night. I didn't see anything, but I had that feeling, that this is gonna become a horror movie if I don't leave feeling. More, also pig kind of related, just a random image. A while after the graveyard, I'm talking with one of my friends. I tell him about this bitch in white, in a roundabout way. I'm pretty skeptical, and I'm not sure that it was a ghost. I was always tired as fuck at work. My buddy says that I'm not the only one, and that another coworker had a too spooky experience on a post. I call bullshit, and go to my room to sleep before shift. I wake up to go to work. Normal day so far. Anon, you're on post 2 spooky tonight with partner bro, co-worker from earlier. Well, fuck my spooks.jpg. Go to post. Most of the night is pretty usual, doing my shit like I should, little less shitty baggy now. Partner goes for a piss and a smoke, leaving me alone in the guard shack. Chilling out, enjoying a dip. Yeah, double cancer mode for this anon. Radio goes static again. Not again, dog-if. Stand up and move around guard shack. Look around for this bitch so I can tell her to fuck off. Can't see her, or anything really. Turn flashlight on and look around. Still nothing, so I sit back down and turn my flashlight off. Feel something touch my shoulder. I figured it was my partner bro. The guard shack has no door. Fucking hurricanes. Turn. Nothing there. Fuck. Step out of guard shack and look around. Partner bro comes back from pissing. Dude, are you fucking with me? No, anon. Dude, seriously, if you're fucking with me, tell me. Anon, what the fuck? I just came back from pissing. What are you on about? I tell him. We both laugh about it, figuring I'm tired. We go back in shack and sit for a few hours doing our job. No bullshit. We both see a white thing near our shack at the same exact time. We both walk out of the shack. Nothing there. Back for the remainder of the shift.